Hello everyone. So by now you know that on the new SAT you will get some questions in the form of a graph. So there will be a graph that will be given to you and one or two questions from the graph. Now keep in mind this graph question is not a separate question type, as in it will be part of the overall passage that is given to you. Along with some passages there will be a graph given to you which will be connected to the content of the passage. And while most people think of a graph as, crisscrossing lines, that's not necessary. A graph stands for anything. It could be a table, a chart, some written material, but it will be separate from the passage, and you will get one or two questions from that particular graph. So the question usually is simpler than it looks. Since it's a new question type that the SAT has just introduced this year, um, they are not giving very difficult questions from the graph. The graph itself can look complex, but the question is very simple and you should most of the time be able to answer it easily. So just make sure that you understand the graph correctly. What is there on the x-axis? What is there on the y-axis? What denominations or units are they using? Is it kilometers? Is it meters? So make sure you understand the graph correctly. To answer a graph question, 99% of the time you will not have to bother with the text that's given to you, as in the passage itself. I mean, in 1 or 2% of the cases you may have to, but almost never will you have to bother with the passage. Just by looking at the graph and reading the options, you will be able to get to the answer. Last point, the graphs are mostly tested in the form of an inference question. The question will tell you which of the following four options can be inferred based on the information in the graph. Again, what applies to inference question applies here. Always avoid extreme options. These are some tips to keep in mind while approaching graph interpretation questions. You can now continue reading through your book.